Hey, welcome to Heavenly Eating, and today we're going to be making pork chops, sunny side up egg, kale, and polenta. Oh, that's top notch, bro. You're going to love it.
I'm here with Frank, and we talking
about pork chops and polenta. We're getting down tonight.
How is this like? So this is like healthy meets fat ass.
This is like I wouldn't say it's. I think this is polenta. You know, and pork. That's like the southern staples. So we're gonna draw in some southern staples tonight, and the only thing that's really super healthy about it is kale.
Huh.
Beautiful little kale we got from Plowbreak Farms. So they gave them to us.
So healthy. Oliver won't eat it.
Oliver won't eat it, although most dogs won't eat legumes.
No, yeah, but he eats pretty much everything.
He eats pretty much everything.
Even onions.
Onions. So.
But this is exciting.
So we got pork chops.
And we'll go from there. So what do we got in front of us?
We got pork chops from a local farm out in Cortland. We got garlic, ancho, cinnamon, a blend of spices, paprika, orange peel, garlic, dehydrated garlic, salt.
Did you make that yourself, or is that like something you bought?
Something you can get at the store.
Okay, so that's something.
It's called a Northwood seasoning.
Cool.
We got butter and polenta.
Awesome.
And pot skills with Frank.
So the pot skills.
We do the pot skills. First thing we got to do is make polenta. So the first thing we're gonna do is add our butter. Because butter and polenta is the shit. The next thing we're gonna do is just turn it on. We want to melt the butter.
So put the butter in and then melt it.
Yeah, I mean if you do it the other way, you're not paying attention or something, your pot could get too hot and you'll burn the butter.
Okay. Is it also suggested to preheat the butter, like in a microwave, and then put it in?
No, don't do that.
Don't do that.
It's the fun of cooking. Why would you preheat things? You might as well go buy it from a box then if you're going to do that. Enjoy your food. Have fun with it. Don't be a lazy bum. Alright, you can see our butter is melted. It's nice and melted. So what you're going to do now is add 2 cups of heavy cream. Oh yeah, that looks good, right?
Beautiful.
It's like a little fat just floating on top of the fat. And it's pretty much the best thing I learned about my trips down south is that they put butter and everything. Now I'm just mixing up the butter and heavy cream together just so it's incorporated. Next step is you want to bring that heavy cream to a little bit over a simmer, but not quite a boil. So now the butter's heating up with the heavy cream. We're looking for it to, like I said, borderline boil. It's starting to simmer. You can see the bubbles around the edge. It's probably at about 175 right now. You're looking for right about 185, 190 before you want to add your grits. So you're starting to see the bubbles around the edge. Make sure you have a whisk handy, because when you pour your grits, you need to whisk them or they'll all just like clump up, and you need to evenly distribute them throughout the thing. As it's boiling now like this, we're also going to add 1 cinnamon stick, 2 ancho peppers. Use dried ancho peppers, it's just easier to find than a fresh ancho pepper. But if you can find a fresh ancho pepper, by all means, do it. For our friends down by the border, they probably have them. Alright, you can see how it's starting to come up. Just like that, it's right at the perfect temperature. Right there, it's boiling. Got the grits in there, and we're stirring. Now we're left with our pork chops. The polenta is going to cook for a good, probably 30 to 45 minutes. Every like 10-15 minutes, go over there, lift up the lid, and give it a good stir. That's all.
Should I set a timer to check this?
You could set a timer if you wanted to, or you could not set a timer and listen to MC Hammer. I'm just saying.
How can you not touch it for 15 minutes? Wow, that's kind of a lot of MC.
Get it? Don't touch this.
So does that mean that I can also just leave it alone for the whole duration and not flip it?
Now you're getting it.
Okay, so I don't have to go crazy.
Well, with the polenta, what's happening is we're cooking it over a low heat. So what's going to happen is the grits are slowly absorbing the milk and the flavor from the cinnamon stick and ancho pepper. To infuse it. Season it with a little salt and pepper too, and you'll be spot on. Alright, so you put our lid on it, put it over low heat for about half hour, change it, don't touch it, let it cook, and then at about 15 minutes in, give it a turn. If it feels kind of dry, add a little bit more liquid to it. Not a lot, just a little bit so that it's smooth.
Alright, I'm kind of hungry. Let's see how this goes.
Ooh, so right now we're heating up our cast iron. Love cast iron. Max and I are pretty much ironclads of the cast iron table.
Every good chef, Sylvia Lair, everyone we spoke with, even the farmers all swear by it when they're really into it.
Right. So what do we got next? Going on right now, we have our pork chops, and what we're gonna do is give them a little seasoning. So we're gonna do is sprinkle some of this on one side, give it a little pat in there, you know, tenderize it up a little bit. You know, gonna flip it on the other side and do the same thing. Seasoning. Is there a fun song we know about seasoning? Getting seasoned. What's the seasoning? So now we're gonna sear the pork chop. Now you want to get your cast iron nice and hot. See how it's starting to smoke a little bit? Perfect. So then we take it. I should have a towel, but I'm gonna use my sleeve. Don't do this at home, kids. Get the oil in the pan. Want to get the other one? Alright, now that it's been seared, we're going to give it a quick flip. Flip it over. See, like, starting to get that seasoning cooked into the pork chop. Nice even coat. That's what you're looking for. Turn the temperature down to a little bit low, and you're going to let the other side cook at a nice slow heat. So that way you get a nice, about medium on the pork.
Checking the firmness, huh?
Ooh, we're just giving it a little touch to see what temperature we're at.
So, how do you know?
Like steak, we want to let this rest too. So, I think it's there. What we're going to do is finish our final ingredient before we put this dish together.
Which is?
Kale and garlic. A little apple cider vinegar to give the whole dish a real complete flavor.
So, I see right here.
Kale. Garlic, and we can't forget the richness of a yolk, or what I call liquid gold.
He loves that word.
Alright, check it out, guys. We just add a little olive oil to the pan. Now I'm going to use the same pan I cooked the pork chops in to do the kale, because unless I'm cooking for a vegetarian, I can use the same pan. I mean, why make more dishes for yourself at the end of the day? And I like all that flavor that's left in the bottom. And the restaurant industry we like to refer to as fond, or the foundation.
Oh, really?
Yep. Now we got some olive oil. I like olive oil. It's good for you.
Does it matter what kind you use?
As long as it's not pomace. Pomace is made from olive oil pulp, and it contains fragments that are known to give people cancer.
So why do they even sell it?
Because, you know, why is Monsanto a company?
Okay, good question. Good question.
So we're going to add a little olive oil to our cast iron skillet. Then we're going to add our garlic. Ooh, you hear that garlic just pouring. Oils are releasing. That's the most important part. Oils are releasing the pan. You don't want your garlic to burn, so don't be afraid to turn your heat down if you think it's getting too dark. You just want it to get sort of tannish, which it's doing right now. So now that it's like that, now we're going to add our kale. Mix it up. Get that kale going, nice and covered.
How long do you hit the kale for?
A couple minutes before we're going to add our apple cider vinegar and deglaze the pan, as we use in the culinary world. Now we're going to grab a pinch of salt, hit it with some salt. Put my finger over the apple cider because I don't want a lot. Do that. That's deglazing the pan. It's almost like it's steaming the kale, you know what I mean? Turn your heat off. Here we go, apple cider, sauteed kale with garlic. Set that aside for the next motion. Woo, look at my chef skills. All right, so now I got a ring mold because I want to make my egg a specific shape. In this instance, I want to make it a perfect circle and a sunny side up egg so it looks super cool. The first thing we're going to do is spray the inside of the ring mold so the egg doesn't stick. Then we're going to crack our egg and crack it right into the middle of the ring. And now we're going to let it cook. Fried egg. Turn your oven off, and that's your sunny side up fried egg. It's super hot right now. You can take a lid and put it over if you want. Just steam it up a little bit so that way the egg whites cook all the way through. Just takes a quick minute. Wada boom. Wada bing. Let's plate this.
Let's talk about...
Now we're getting ready to plate the polenta pork chop kale with a little sunny side up egg on it. So what we're going to do is you're going to take a scoop of your polenta and put it right down in the middle. Take another scoop, right down in the middle. Then what we're going to do is sort of create a well for it. So you're going to push it back and forth until you create this sort of well. Now you're creating a well for the pork chop to rest on. Next thing we're going to do is grab a pair of tongs and gently set a pile of kale on the side of it. Like so. Make sure that people can still see the kale. If you have to take each one and do it, it's perfect. Next thing we're going to do, let's not do that. Next thing we're going to do is take our pork chop, lean it up against the kale. Finally, you take your sunny side up egg and put it on there. And that, my friends, is polenta with a Northwood seasoned pork chop, sunny side up egg, and apple cider garlic kale.
Now I actually have a question. Is this the only way that we can plate this? Can we plate it other ways?
You can plate it without the egg and it would be just as good. Anything I guess we could also suggest, I always suggest drizzling a little olive oil just around it. Give it like that little restaurant quality jazz.
Totally.
That's a little secret of the kitchen.
Just go with the flow and kind of feel it out.